So now you're ready for the floor. So I want to talk about a couple different floor options. You can do anything you want for the floor. You could make your floor look like it is grass and flowers. Now you're walking on grass and flowers as you're walking through the building. You could make your floor look like it's ice and snow, and maybe you are skiing in the hallway, or snowshoeing, or skateboarding. I mean, you just kind of decide what you want to do. You can have a tile floor. You can have a wood floor. You can have, there's just so many different things you could do. You could make your floor look like it's made out of glass and there's something underneath it where you can see through the floor. So your imagination is your limitation. So you kind of decide. So here on this one, I made a checkered floor. And so what I basically did is I turned my paper over and I did some measuring, and I decided that I was going to start by having these marks at every inch. So if you take a look at my marks here, I have a mark at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then of course 12 is the edge of the paper. What I then did is I lined up each of these marks with my vanishing point, and I drew a line coming back to my vanishing point. So this is a checkered floor. Once I finished all my lines going back to the vanishing point, I'm going to erase this. This is that little dot in there is my my door handle, but I'm going to erase that just so that you can see, because it has to go back to the vanishing point, not the doorknob. Once I have all these lines going back to my vanishing point, then the next step, just like you did your bank of lockers, how it's larger here and it gets thinner as you go back, notice the thickness here. And then as you go back, your lines are going to get narrower. So all I did is I took my ruler, I made sure my ruler is the same distance, they're parallel lines, and I drew a line on my floor from one edge to the other. And as I went back, I just made sure that I got a little bit smaller as I went. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but I originally drew the entire floor. And then when I was done drawing the floor, I decided to make like a little trap door where there was like a little hole in the floor. And so I just kind of basically took kind of a section and I erased inside. So my plan is to have some kind of creature or something kind of climbing out of this, or maybe there's a waterfall coming down and dripping down. I mean, the sky's the limit, you decide. So that's how you would do a checkered floor. The other type of floor that I'm going to show you is a wood floor. So basically you're going to do the same thing. So I want to start with a wood floor, and my wood floor is, if you think about the planks, so some of us have wide planks, wood floor, kind of hard wood floor. So, and it usually goes across. So again, I'm taking my ruler parallel to the side of the paper, and I'm going to keep fairly consistent for a while. And then as I start going back, I am going to gradually get skinnier and skinnier. Don't get too skinny too fast, because if you make your lines too close together at the very, very end, it's going to be kind of difficult to kind of see what you're doing. I'm hoping, okay, good. So that looks, so you kind of see the wood floor here. And then you can stop this here, and maybe here this transitions to grass and outdoors, and actually you could have an actual transition here, which I should be using a ruler. Line up this corner with the vanishing point and come across. So then this becomes your kind of that transition from one area to another if you want it to be, or you could make this carpet, rug, grass, whatever you want it to be. So now a wood floor has lines in it that kind of break up the floorboards. So I would go in here and I would probably just start, decide kind of where, should be pretty random. So that's I think what's going to make this part kind of a little bit more tedious, is that I'm lining up my ruler with my vanishing point, and I'm just randomly adding some lines to and there you kind of getting the idea of the wood floor. And then if you really wanted to get detailed, you could always go in and you can always do kind of like these little knots and kind of create that kind of wood floor kind of grain in here if you wanted to. And I wouldn't get too detailed on that, but you kind of see the idea. I've kind of skipped this one, so let's maybe put a line. My paper, I'm using a ripped piece of paper, so we'll kind of see if we can cover that up. But can you kind of get the idea of where we're going here? And you would just basically continue that all the way back till you get back here. Okay? So next step would be adding a door or a window at the back. And if you're adding a window, you can just add, you could have a large door that looks like this. Again, notice that I'm going vertical lines parallel to these, horizontal line parallel to this. This could be a wide door. It could be a narrow door. It could be, if you wanted to, maybe there's a window. Maybe there is no door at the end of the hallway. Maybe you're trapped. Oh no. Maybe it's a brick wall. Maybe it's, I don't know, a time machine. You guys have fun with it. You figure out what it is you're going to do. And then from here, you get to be creative and figure out what you want to do. You could have chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. You could have the ceiling, oh my gosh, I don't know. There's so many different options of things that you can do. So if there's a video you want me to make to show you how to do different things on here, please let me know, and I will shoot the video and add it to their packet so that you have some other options to be shown how to work with perspective in a room. So have fun, and I cannot wait to see what you create. You guys are all so imaginative and creative, and I look forward to seeing your ideas and your imagination just really kind of come out. So have fun.